Hi guys, welcome to this video. Today we're responding to your comments. Bluebell is just waking up. As soon as I started recording and he heard my voice, he just got up and came to say hi. And now he's just being cute. Anyway, I think responding to your comments in this way is just a little bit more engaging and interacting to some extent. Anyway, without wasting any time, let's get to it. This one's from Elizabeth Schreiber. Do you have to put the app on your phone to make the fountain work? No, Elizabeth. I believe if you just connect the fountain to the socket, to the outlet, it will just start working. However, you're not going to have access to some of the functionality that comes with the app, like the reminders on your phone or checking the status of how much water is in the fountain, etc. Okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, however, it's a very good question. If I start taking him out for a walk every day, will he get used to it? The answer is yes and no, so it really depends on the cat. As you know, we've got two. Bluebell is really happy to go outside, however, Pixie is not so keen on going out. With Bluebell, it took, I want to say, up to 5 times to get him sort of comfortable, at a comfortable level, being outside. With Pixie, we're probably at about 20 now, and she's still a little bit, for lack of a better word, skittish. She's still very on high alert, and when she's outside, she listens to every sound, and you can tell that she would be easily frightened. So we have to be very careful if we know that there's going to be like a loud sound. We need to anticipate it, and then obviously what we do actually, if you want to know if you are planning to take your cat out, and if you will, we start petting her so she feels that comfort, and she feels like we're with her, if that makes sense. And that seems to work actually really well. Every time there's louder sound, and we do manage to anticipate that. Sometimes you can't, obviously, if there's like a loud bang, but if we know cars approaching, we're gonna start petting her, and it works really well. Whereas if we don't do that, she gets scared sometimes. But again, I want to stress, this isn't going to work for every cat. Not every cat is going to walk on a leash, sometimes ever. So don't force it if you don't see any progress. You know, it's not like with dogs. With cats, you can't teach them certain things, not always anyways. And don't force it on your cat. It's not worth it, trust me. It's just going to cause more stress for you and for your cat. Rachel in London. Wow, I just looked at the Kotek website, and the cat tree I bought from them in 2020 has gone up by 400 euros. Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is a Chanel bag of cat trees, and they really do hold value. In the previous video, I actually mentioned that we sold our old cat tree. We bought it for roughly £400, and we managed to sell it for 200 odd pounds. So they really do hold value, and we had 3 years of use out of that cat tree, so they really do hold quite well. And we probably would have gotten even better price for it if we had time to wait. Unfortunately, we had to move quite quickly from the old apartment, the reality of moving into London, and we just accepted the offer that someone gave us with a quick turnaround. Kali Vizisla, I hope I said that name right. Hi, different question. Did you give your cat a bath? I'm not just talking about dirty tail, I mean the whole body. Actually, we've had our cats for over 3 years now, and we actually never gave them a full body bath, if that makes sense. Yes, to your point, we did have to wash the bums a little bit sometimes when they had an accident in the litter box. However, never a full body wash. They actually do such an amazing job cleaning themselves, and they never actually got themselves into an accident where we felt like a bath was necessary. Nor did we ever try to, prepare them. There is instances where Pixie or Bluebell jumps into the bath and there is a little bit of water at the bottom, but usually it's by accident when they don't pay attention. There's this weird routine happening in our house where whenever I go for a shower, cats somehow know when I go for what reason I go to the bathroom for. And if it's shower, they always in the bathtub, and they want to play. Like it's such a weird thing, but like I take my socks off and then they try to catch them in the bathtub. It might sound weird, but like it's like a little bonding thing, and it adds routine to the day. Like it might sound weird, but honestly, trust me, it's so funny. They will just chase anything in the bathtub. JH says, it's usually humans with too much unnecessary stuff, not the kitties. I have to completely agree with this statement. Moving into smaller apartment in London, even smaller from the small apartment that we had, it really opened our eyes onto how much unnecessary stuff we actually had in our lives, and we had to really offload to downsize to this current flat. And completely agree, it's humans who have too much unnecessary stuff. Chop Top Sawyer. I've been struggling with my long haircut keeping herself clean. She's orange. So I'm going to try and trim around her tushy. She doesn't seem to care about the smell or the mess, but I do. I think when we'd gone through the period of where Bluebell had more frequent accidents in the litter box, and we actually gave him a little trim, it actually really helped, because I found it was always those like tiny like ends of the fur on the bum and like around the legs that would get dirty. And if you stay quite consistent with like trimming it, it really reduces the amount of work that you have to put in to actually get them cleaned, or for the cat to take care of it itself. It doesn't solve the problem completely, but it's a lot easier to reduce the amount of, let's call it, mess that happens at the back, or help you with helping the cat to clean it. Angel Clark says, my 9-week-old ragdoll never stops talking. He goes upstairs, meows, I carry him down, purrs, goes right back up the stairs, meows. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, this never stops. We've had these guys for over 3 years and they meow just as much as they did at the very beginning, or maybe even more. Now that we started to take them outside on the lead, Bluebell actually learned that he learned that he can ask to go outside, much like a dog. He sits by the door and he meows at the door because he knows there's another big room to go and play. And yeah, the room being outside, obviously. Milatube says, plenty on good cat nets on Amazon, guys. The net might not last due to weather change. Actually, the net that we bought in this video held up so well. We've had it since day one, since we had the cats, until last month when we had to move out of the apartment. And when I was taking the net down, it was in the exactly same condition as putting it up. The net that we used, you're right, it wasn't specifically designed or manufactured for keeping cats inside of the house. However, it was the net that was designed for covering the trees to protect them from the birds occupying them before the trees get cut down. And actually it did an amazing job. Cats were jumping on it, walking on it. Never ever did they manage to escape. It's worked magic. AAA is asking, have Pixie or Bluebell scratched you? Yes and no. The reason I say this is because they never actively scratched us. We made a very good and big point about not playing with them when they were little. We're using our hands. We always used toys. And now we're at the stage where they grew up a little bit, and we do relax a little bit, and sometimes I do play with Bluebell with my hands. And now that they grew up with the attitude, whenever we play, we use claws on the toys but not on the hands, never scratched us in this manner. However, once Bluebell was sleeping on the headboard, and he's this type of a cat that doesn't have a very good balance, and we think he fell asleep on the headboard above the bed, and he fell, and as he was falling, he was trying to catch something, and he caught my arm. But I think that doesn't count as scratching because it wasn't intentional, it wasn't during like playing or something, it was just him being clumsy. So that's why I say yes or no. Akira Blue says, I love your videos, welcome back. Thank you so much, we're actually so happy to be back. This is like a really refreshing thing to be able to come back on here and spend some time with you guys. It actually feels really good. How much are Ragdolls? So it really depends where you get them from, and the prices have gone up so much, guys, since we got our cats. We paid for ours about £600-700 each, but now I looked online and some of them are £1,200, £1,300. It's really however much the breeders are going to ask now, and the supply of Ragdolls is still quite limited. So I think you have to find the right breeder, and usually when they're asking for too much, they might be too greedy, and their heart might not be in it. They might be in it for the wrong reasons. They might be in it for the money and not for caring for the breed. And I want to make a point. There's plenty fantastic breeds, you know, in the shelter. So, you know, you can also explore these options if money is a concern, and also you're saving a life in the shelter. The only concern is these cats might come with not to not sell it, but they might come with certain experiences where, you know, they might behave in certain way, they might struggle to trust you, or on the other hand, they might trust you even more because they finally going to find a loving home. So yeah, consider your options carefully, and do plenty of research. Ideally, reach out to friends and ask them, you know, if they have cats, where they got them from, and discuss all of the options. Make sure you make a good decision. Joe McDonald, glad to see I'm not the only one gifted with this task. Yeah, I think the poop on the butt affects most of the ragdolls, or not only ragdolls, but long-haired cats. So yeah, welcome to the club. Noah Molina, can someone tell me the name or the link to buy the transporter? Yeah, not a problem. I'll put it down in the description. Follow the link and get your own. We've had ours, again, since day one, and they've held up really well. We now have 2 because the cats grew, and honestly, best carrier ever. Not that we tested other ones. These are fine. Mr. Rocky Kitty, I want to do this for my kitties. This is referring to cat-proofing the balcony. I cannot recommend this enough. Not only did it extend the living space for the cat, but also for us. It allowed us to keep the door open, open the window at night when on the hot days, and not stress about cats escaping or anything, and not even keep them permanently open. But ragdolls, and maybe cats in general, not had experience with many other breeds, once they learn that there is more space on the other side of the door, they do try to escape. So even day-to-day things, you know, going out on the balcony, coming back, it really does help. So if you have a cat that you don't let outside alone, I can't recommend this enough. Get it done. It's a cheap thing. You know, even a huge balcony like we had in our previous apartment, which was about 8 meters long, it only costed us about 20 to 30 pounds in the materials, plus a couple hours of work. But you can definitely do it yourself. Alexander Zerka, lady, if you have a room for a dining table in your apartment, it's not that small. 100% agree. We're in the new apartment now, and we do not have space for the dining table. We had to sell that. We had to sell the sofa, TV, everything. I know what you're talking about, and our previous understanding of a small apartment, I don't think it was accurate. we know better now. Ingrid R. I have a vertical railing on my balcony. My cat can slip right between. Any suggestions? Honestly, get the net, get some zip ties, and attach it on the bottom. If you have an apartment above you, put like a wooden board at the top and connect the bottom, obviously, with the top using similar net to ours. If you don't have an apartment above you, build like a wooden frame or aluminium frame, and cover the ceiling as well, so the cat can't climb over it. Homemaker's Heart, thank you. I have been watching Jackson's Galaxy, but your videos is so much more helpful for me. Honestly, we love him. Before we got our cats, Mon actually made me watch most of his videos, if not all of his videos, and we've learned a lot from him before we got the cats, and then obviously from the experience having our own. But yeah, both great videos. Suzanne Horsoup, if we wanted to use your pork recipe but use the bone meal, do you know how many grams of that we need? I think the best approach here is download the calculator that we linked in the description from the Facebook group, and you can input your own ingredients. So you can substitute the carcass for eggshells or bone meal, and it's best to just put it in the calculator and have a look yourself. I can't remember the exact amounts for this recipe, and the only reason I say have a look yourself, because I found that it's not, you can't always buy the same size of the packaging of the meat. So if I give you this skill where you can calculate it yourself, you'll be prepared for every possibility. If you go to one shop and another, you know, you might buy a pack of 700 grams of certain meat, in the other you might have to buy 900, and it doesn't always add up so well to the previous recipes. So download the calculator and calculate it yourself. It's so much easier. Char, I have a question. I noticed he didn't mention any supplements besides the bone meal. Yes, that is correct. We add bone meal, sardines, and then it's just pure meat, liver, and we're actually using pork right now, pork shoulder specifically, with small addition of beef. Beef muscle specifically. We've been feeding our cats this diet for very long time now, since the very beginning, and they behaving really well on it. There is no mats on the fur whatsoever, even on the belly part, and they seem to enjoy it, and they get excited when we give them food, but not overly excited like with the artificial food that has, you know, the addictive ingredients that just make your cat go crazy. Angel Eyes 8100. I got a plastic one because I like the color. My cat loves it. Since seeing your review, I think I might switch it for the smart one. It looks really nice. Yes, it does look nice. But one thing I'm gonna say, not to not sell the product. I think if you're not gonna use the app, it's not that much better. Like, it accomplishes the same task, which is floating water and filtering the water, but other than the app and being able to control it from the app, get the notifications, etc., it's not that much different, obviously, other than the design, the colors, and so on. And the previous response also goes to the hero we need. Again, if the money is no problem, I personally prefer the design of the smart one. But if you're not going to use the features, you might as well just get the cheaper one and save yourself some money. Julie Cox, did you get the fishy treats in the UK? Because my cat would love them. I can guarantee any cat loves them. Monica is currently staying at our friend's house, and they have a 13-year-old cat named Joey. What a cute name. And she got some of the Cosma Snackies with her. And honestly, he's gone crazy for it. He's acting like a little kitten, jumping and, you know, trying to get it, purring. Honestly, what a cute little cat. Yes, you can get them from Zoopla, or, to be fair, most of the pet stores. They called Cosma Snackies, and the flavor is whitefish. It's very important. The other ones our cats don't go so crazy for. It's the whitefish that you need to get. I think they're a little bit more expensive than the other flavors, but it's so worth it. Get the whitefish. Make yourself. I thought about using the netting, but guaranteed my cats will climb and wreck it. Yeah, I can guarantee, like, if your cat is no bigger than Ragdoll, it's totally fine. Our cats have been walking on it, climbing, jumping, and actually jump. You know, when they get zoomies, they just run and jump anywhere. They've been doing that with this net, even two at the same time in sort of similar spot, so, you know, it was supporting weight of both of them, and the net is fine. I actually ripped the net in one place myself by accident. I was cutting something and I wasn't careful, but cats never managed to cut it. Okay guys, this was the last one for today. I really enjoyed this. This is the first time I did a video in this way. Really fun way to connect with you. I look forward to getting more comments from you, and I'll be picking some of the most interesting ones, maybe for next week. Maybe we do this a weekly thing, responding to your comments here. Let me know what you think, and yeah, I'm interested to see your comments and questions for the next time. See you soon.